The US stock market closed the previous week with a significant rise. Experts suppose that there are two reasons for such a jump. Firstly, Joe Biden signed legislation temporarily raised the government's borrowing limit. Secondly, the US Fed remained its monetary policy unchanged despite high inflation. The regulator's promise to launch the QE tapering in November was considered as a boost for the US market. Notably, compared to the recovery pace, the current growth is significantly slower. On Friday, the S&P 500 closed with an increase of just 0.75%. Now it's trading at 4,471 points. Judging by the market sentiment, the index will continue climbing towards the upper limit of the range between 4,430 to 4,500 points. Last week, the House raised the debt ceiling by $480 billion. However, the deadline for the debt default was published off only until December. In addition, last week the US reported an increase in inflation up to 5%. Although the US inflation has been surging since April, the Fed has not announced yet the timing of the monetary policy changes. Thus, the US stock market is still growing. Meanwhile, the US dollar advanced and returned to the range between 93 and 80 and 94 and 40. Notably, last week the greenback showed a rather weak performance. Today, the US dollar index climbed to 93 and 95 points. It's quite possible that the currency received support amid the expectations of the upcoming Fed's meeting devoted to monetary policy tightening. Although the regulator is not planning to raise the key interest rate until the second half of 2022, market participants are expecting the launch of the QE tapering as early as November. At the same time, the USD CAD pair continues falling. The fact is that prices of oil and gas are rising along with the deficit of these energy sources. It's obvious that high oil prices are exerting pressure on the USD CAD pair. The pair is trading within the range of 1.2350 and 1.2450. The price is fixed at 1.2400, but it may slide deeper. Today, the crypto market has shown a real boom. The trading day may close at an extremely high level. By the moment, Bitcoin exceeded $61,000, and it's not the limit. The next resistance level is located at $63,000. If BTC manages to break this level, it's likely to rise further. The overall market sentiment is quite positive. Thus, the US stock market is likely to go on climbing to its yearly high. However, experts warn that the growth potential is not very strong. High speculative activity may result in a 10% rise. In addition, there won't be any important events this week. Only the US Fed will publish its meeting results on October 20. The market will receive information about the US economy that is usually published 2 weeks before the Fed's meeting. Stay tuned to keep abreast of the latest macroeconomic events. We keep monitoring the financial market situation. Subscribe to our channel and see you tomorrow.